Hello, Moon. This is Peggy skating. Whatever you would like to call me, I like skating. I'm a skateboarder. I used to be a skateboarder. Getting at this age, it's kind of scary to skateboard anymore, but I still have skateboards. Alright, for the first thing, I wanted to explain why I think that person is M. Manson. Is I'm like an observationalist philosopher, and so I observe things and then I come to a conclusion. It doesn't mean it's fact or anything, but I've um I've had by reading that one questions to Rob Zombie, the one that he printed Supernatural, and the way that that person defended Manson and etc etc, and then I've seen I've been a victim of one of his little girls that he played on the internet for a couple years, but my instincts totally told me that it was Marilyn Manson. But they kept denying that it wasn't that this person. Anyway, so that's why I go by my instincts. And then you know what's so wild is that I gosh, I got so much to say. Cause alright, they Marilyn Manson, I was reading in my notebook in 1996, and I thought he was disgusting, derogatory because of something I read about him in the Butthole Surfers, giving enemas to girls and this and that, getting off on it. I don't know, I think Trent Reznor was involved. But from that point on, I was not a big Marilyn Manson fan. Okay, I'm a record music promoter. I was working for Necro on his message board, and I was getting um, people. Somebody was putting pictures or the meeting of Anton LaVey and Marilyn Manson in like little subliminal links. Like you press the link and you see the picture, and I would take the time out to look at that. So me and Necro got into a fight, and I ran right into Marilyn Manson, and went right to his message board. I fought all his battles for him, promoted all his music for him, did a lot of fucking shit, you know? And then I realized that a lot of things happened. 2 years this happened, this went on. And, and actually it was the most depressing time of my life because I kept thinking that he was going to meet me or something, but it never happened. So, at the concert when I got my almost raped, the cops ripped up my ticket. That was the end of it. And I told my son, I said, Nick, I never really was a Marilyn Manson fan. He goes, come on, Mom. That's all you talked about was Marilyn Manson, this and this and this and this and that. But the thing is it was those 2 years. It was, I believe in power of suggestion. I believe in brainwashing. I believe in a lot of things. And for one reason, he was definitely on the Necro message boards because he stalks. Marilyn Manson stalks other magical Satanist sites, you know. And like he'll be on a Satanist site, and 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 I'll say something about Anton LaVey, and he will block me. I'll say I'm tired of Marilyn Manson using Anton LaVey to um to gain popularity with the Satanists and the Church of Satan, and this person will block me and delete all my posts. So, and also what's really weird now, I had I had almost pegged him with the Batman shootings, Marilyn Manson, because of just different things that went on with this person that said that they weren't Marilyn Manson, but they were. Like they wanted me to dye my hair red, um, etc. And the guy that had the Batman shootings dyed his hair red. Um, but it was just weird that that person all of a sudden said something about um, Rob Zombie lives in Connecticut, the same town as that person. Yeah, right. I believe that. Like, I don't believe nobody. And And the thing is, and the weird thing is that is that that shooting happened in Connecticut. You know, I believe that some people can look and foresee into the future and see what's going to happen. Not on me, I can't. But that was just too weird that that happened. And I said, they better not fucking blame Rob Zombie or nothing about this. It better not be fucking, I was pissed off, at that person for even, I don't even know. I don't look where people live or nothing. I thought it was in California or something. I don't know. I don't stalk people. So that person's a stalker. So, so, yeah. I don't know. It was just too weird, you know? Alright. So here's what happened the other night. Weird things happen in this town. This town is crazy. There's voodoo people here. Um, I have a lot of black friends. I don't have too many friends that I hang out with, but I was this one black friend that I used to play pool with and shit, and I'd bring my Bob Marley books and be reading it. He'd be all acting like he was interested. I've known this guy for about a year or so, and he's always been really nice to me. He asked me to. I had my son's truck one night. He asked me to give him a ride to Players where the pool table is. So I dropped him off, but I had to take my son's truck back. He said, "We'll come back down." Well, I left my one friend's house and it was snowing out. I was so happy that I walked. I like to walk, and I walked all the way down there. The bar was closed, but he asked me to come up to his apartment. Well, I have my backpack. I always carry books with me and stuff, and I stayed there for a couple hours. His music sucked. I had CDs. He had Blu-ray. It didn't work. I mean, gosh. And come to find out that he wasn't even, he raised all his kids Catholic. He's a black guy, this guy. And he turned out to be mean and nasty and just about raped me. But anyway, so I was gathering up my stuff before I left. I was making sure I knew I left something. And it was my voodoo book. I went home. I said, I know I left a fucking book there. So I called him and I called him. He says, oh, I haven't looked for it yet. I haven't looked. I called him. I haven't looked for it yet. I haven't looked for it yet. Well, I walked back down the bar. He wasn't there because he lives above the bar. So I asked the bartender um, to call him up and tell him that I want to play a game of pool with him. So he comes down. He's all like freaked out and shit. And the owner of the bar were looking at me and weird because they don't like me. I know they don't. And I had my astrology book because I get bored of bars, or anywhere. So I was looking at my astrology book, and he says, "Oh, his back's hurting and he couldn't play pool." I said, "Well, can you at least buy me a beer? Did you find a book? I haven't looked for it yet." I'm like, Jesus, man. So, he's ignoring me, talking to these other people. When I go to the bartender, I said, "He's gonna buy me a beer." He said, "So can you get it for me?" She got me the beer. So this guy walks in, weird looking guy. I'm looking at my book. He goes, that's all bullshit, don't you? I said, probably um, one book differs from another, but the basic characteristics are about the same. I mean, I don't read it to say that what it's gonna be tomorrow or nothing. And this and that. So he starts engaging into this conversation about religion and laws. He goes, you know why there's religion and laws? Not that I wanted to hear his opinion, but he wanted to tell me anyways. So I said, he goes, the reason there's religion and laws is I won't, so that it stops me from ripping your clothes off and raping you right now. I'm like, what? I said, that should be your moral and your conscience that stop you from doing that. And he kept going on and on and on. Oh, and I said something about Marilyn Manson. Oh, he loved Marilyn Manson's best concert and he says, I got the witch's mark. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck a witch's mark is. And, so, I didn't get my book back, my voodoo book back, because the guy's a fucking idiot. And I walked home. I went into this abandoned house and collected some more things. But I looked it up on a witch's mark is a bump or like a wart on a person that you know that stands out. I guess that makes them a witch's mark. That's what it is. But I came out. I put my hair in one braid, and I showed him my pentagram necklace. I said, "There's my fucking mark, bitch." And the because I like to combine my voodoo because I'm into voodoo and I've been learning it spiritually. But the book I haven't even read yet, and I wanted it back. And so then my phone doesn't ring because it doesn't have a thing on it. So I have to get the messages. So I didn't even care about the book at this point. I'm just gonna leave it there. He can have the fucking book and he can have the bad karma with it. So then I got a message. Oh, I found your book. So like 3 days go by. I didn't call him. Then finally I called him. He goes, I found your book. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your phone? How come you're not? I thought we were cool. I said, hey man, I've been going through some bad times. I didn't feel like calling you right then. I said, he goes, well, why don't you come down? You can spend the night and I got food and everything and this and that. I said, no, I just want my book back. And he says, oh. And so like he wasn't gonna give me my book. So still has my book. So I'm debating on how I'm gonna get this book or not, or if I should just leave it with them or what. I'm still debating about that. I could order another one. It's not that expensive. It's just the um the purpose of it. But I know I'm all mumbled jumbled over here because I'm in the middle of doing trying to organize all my shit and and I got so much to say and I got a million things I want to do. And oh yeah, about my dad and my mother. My mother and my dad, I believe, were they were pedophiles, and my dad was used some kind of magic and to gain his way back in here, but I've been learning ways to kick him out. Like I painted his desk all different colors that he would hate in a dresser. I painted all different clothes that he would hate, and there's the desk over there. And then I found one of his old watches that winds up, you know. So I'm gonna keep it on me and keep it timed, cause like in the Devil's Notebook by Anton LaVey, it I learned a lot about that. I learned a lot about my dad in his in my dad's work papers. He worked in a steel mill. He's a chemist in a steel mill. I found a pentagram type. It was called the hidden triangle. There's a lot of stuff. I saved a lot. I burned a lot of stuff for somebody that maybe is interested in figuring out what's going on with that. Because people say they don't do magic, but they do. You know, my dad was the biggest fucking racist motherfucking asshole in the whole fucking world. I hated him and my mother both. But yeah, I believe that my father, my spiritual father is Anton LaVey. That's who I'd want to be my father. And for some reason, I believe that a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll tell you sometime and show you some of my books and stuff. Uh, I don't I have a lot of books to read yet, and my kitty cats. And this is I'm gonna show you my voodoo lady. She's my voodoo lady, and this is her boyfriend. Pretty sure you can see it. I'll show you some of my kitty cats, but they're over there. And I believe in a lot in fiction, like Stephen King's It book. I believe that is true, and it's in my town. I know I sound crazy. I got locked up a lot of time, but I've proven to my son because he say I was crazy and this and that. My son's 21, but more than enough times what I say has come true. Not because I'm psychic, but because of a vision or some instinct or something like that. So now he went from being an atheist to he believes in a lot of stuff. So, anyways, I just thought that was weird about that guy with the witch's mark. But you know what? I might have a witch's mark. I don't like to call myself a witch. I'm a black magician. And there's one. mm, There's one here. I burned it off with some. I don't know what the heck it was. probably hardly. I don't know if you can see it or not. There it is, right there. I didn't like it. I tried to burn it off, but if that's what that is, which is not, whatever. That guy's weird though, you know. For him to say that, I mean, God, what it, these people in this. I don't even like the most of the human race. I really don't believe that I am part of the human race. But I guess that's enough for now because that's maybe you would like to hear some more things about my town and what goes on here and stuff. Okay. All right. Goodbye.